All right, guys. All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Today is March 4th, 2023, and this meeting's for our agents. And we're going to go over a market report, the interest rates, what's in the news, and our main topic is for self-employed, right? All of you guys are, if you working as an independent contractor, it's considered self-employed. So we're going to go through, how does the lender actually use your income to qualify you for a mortgage? So we're going to talk about that. Any questions down the line, just unmute yourself or just throw it in the chat box and I'll try to answer it as quickly as possible. Okay. So let's get started with the interest rates. This is according to Freddie Mac. And this is the last update is from March 2nd, a few days ago. And according to them, 30-year fixed rate conforming, it's averaging 6.65. Again, week over week, we're seeing the trend is going up, not going down. Okay. So this is according to Freddie Mac, 6.65. But we always pay attention to mortgage news daily as well. And for 30-year fixed rate, you're looking at average of 6.97. It's very close to 7. And when we're qualifying new buyers out there, they're seeing interest rates in around this price that you see here, 6.97. Okay. And these are the averages. Again, if they go with a conventional, if they go with the FHA compared to a conventional, it's going to be a little bit lower than your conventional loan. But all these meetings that we're having for past at least 3 or 4 weeks, we have seen the trend go upward instead of going downwards, right? So we might see it go even higher next week, but only time will tell, and we'll keep following it on next Wednesday's meeting. Okay. There is in the news there saying that the Fed might raise it on the next meeting another quarter or another 50 basis point. If it does go higher, our interest rate be in the sevens. So just know that that's what we're expecting for next couple of weeks. Okay. So we know that the interest rate, just like this is another article stating the same exact thing that what we're seeing from Freddie Mac, right? 6.65. Mortgage rates rise in fourth straight week, right? And reactions pour in. Let's look at some reactions. So they're saying total interest paid on $500,000 mortgage. If you purchased a mortgage in 2021, the total mortgage in 30 years, the interest rate you would have paid on that $500,000 mortgage was $220,000. If that same person purchases it now, they will be paying around $700,000 in interest rate only. So in 18 months, the mortgage rate has risen from 2.5, which was the lowest we saw, and to 7.1, which is the highest we saw, right? So it's a huge difference when it comes to affordability when the interest rates are not just jumping up a little bit, they're doubling or tripling. Okay. So this is a real money, like, $220,000 compared to $700,000 just in interest over the 30-year term. Okay. Further, the housing affordability index is officially below 2008 levels. Obviously, that's what the government wants to. They want to see less of the buying and the selling. That's happening. They're trying to control the inflation, but we are seeing that in the mortgage rate that the interest rates are going much, much higher every week. And this is another person here. Mortgage rates are back above 7%. At that rate, here's what buying a medium home in US looks like. So if you're purchasing a property that's around $467,000, and you put down payment of $93,000, your monthly mortgage payment is going to be around $2,500. Okay. And she asked that question: is that doable for an average American? You guys be the judge. When the interest rates are jumping up like that, a person who is renting out, they're having double thoughts. So should I keep renting? Should I actually purchase a property or not? Okay. So this is another problem that we're having that with the inventory. So if you have a current seller, why and they have they have a mortgage payment that they're doing for 3%, right? If they want to sell that property and buy a new one, and if they're buying at 7%, why would they want to do that, right? So they're just waiting for the interest rates to go lower, then put their property on the market, right? But it's a double-edged sword. If he's gonna, like Muhammad just asked, if they want to purchase a second property and they want to take out some money from it, they're not thinking about refinance. They're saying, hey, I do need that 100,000 for the next property, but if I'm paying 3% on interest rate, I'm not touching that mortgage for the rest of his life, until it's paid off. That's majority of them, unless the interest rates go below and there's close to 4%, and it makes sense for me to refi or sell my property and get a new one. Okay. And he refers to as this is a golden handcuff, right? They're already tied into that property because of the low interest rate, and they're not going to sell. And that's one of the biggest reasons the inventory is still low out there. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Okay. So because the interest rates are going up, we want to use an example for 7% now for affordability and see how much a client will qualify on 7%, because that's what we're seeing these days, right? So let's say they're making $95,000 as a couple, as a household income is 95,000. The interest rates are 7%, and they have a down payment. They have a good amount of savings, $150,000. Okay, and they paid off all their monthly. There's no monthly obligation. They cleared all their credit cards. There's no car payment. There's absolutely nothing going on when it comes to their monthly obligation. And let's say they want to purchase a property in Queens, and it's around $7,000 in properties, and their home insurance is around $1,500 to DTI of 49%. So this couple can purchase a house close to $600,000. Okay. And now, if that same client does not have $150,000 for down payment, they only have $70,000, and it goes down from 600,000 to 518. Okay, so the interest, if the same client is going to keep waiting maybe another year, and hopefully, they're waiting that the interest rate goes down, and let's say it's 5.5, same client will qualify for close to $600,000 again, 590. So all these factors, they play in when it comes to affordability, right? So your clients, when they're going to the loan officers and getting it pre-approved, and you might probably they got a pre-approved few months back, and the interest rates were around 4.5 or 5.5, and now all of a sudden they want to make an offer, and now they have interest rates of 7%. They're gonna have a hard time qualifying for the same amount. It's gonna be less. Okay. And the conversation that you guys want to have with your clients is that if they're waiting, right, they want to wait until they're renting right now, and they want to wait another year for the interest rates to go lower. When the interest rates goes lower, there's more people qualifying, and the bidding war goes back up, just like how we saw during COVID time. So if they're going to be waiting for that, just tell them, hey, you can wait for the interest rates, but the prices will not come down when the interest rate comes down. It's going to be more people qualifying, and the bidding war will be back on. Okay. And this is another article just for people who are renting, right? They're not so happy paying their rent too, unless they have a good amount of lease where the interest of their rent is not increasing every year. But according to this article, the rent rose 58% in U.S. counties from 2020 to 2023. Right now, they are a little stable and they're slowing down with the rise, but still, the rental, we see these examples every single week that, hey, they were paying $1,200 for rent. Now it went up to $1,500. They were paying $1,800. All of a sudden, they're asking for $2,100. So that $200 or $300 that they're paying in rent is going, is adding up a lot. So they're thinking, should I actually buy the property or still wait? You know, if they're gonna wait another year, interest rate comes down, they're gonna be still stuck in that bidding war, and end up paying more. As long as they qualify now, even the interest rates are higher, you want to put in your offer, put in a solid offer, but don't have to go above asking price or don't have to be so aggressive when it comes to your offers. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? All right. So this is looking at supply and demand. This is in Long Island for Nassau. So you see your supply chain. Again, the inventory is so low that it's negative 26%. And the demand decreased around 4% as well, just because, like we said, interest rates go higher, less people qualify, so there's less demand for it, right? But until we see a supply chain where there's more inventory out there, the prices will not come down until we see this change. And again, we gave that example earlier. Nobody's going to sell their property if that same person have to get a new mortgage at a higher interest rate. They rather just stay in that property and wait it out, right? All right, guys. Next, we want to talk about is KV Core. Under KV Core listings, this tab here, um, do your research for any area that you want when it comes to renting or when it comes to just buying or seeing what's on the market, just by zip codes or just by county. All you have to do is go to listing, all MLS listings here. So everything that you see on Stratus, everything that you see on Zillow or Trulia or any of the websites, you see that here. So why have 2 or 3 other tabs open when you can do all your research right from KV Core? So on the listings here, type in the zip code. So I typed in 11420. You see the latest property that's on the market as the first one. So this came on the market, listed by Melissa Gomez, was listed yesterday. So this is a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, $2,400. Just to give you an example, just how we say that the rentals are increasing, just by giving this example, $2,400 for 2 bedrooms for this area, it did jump. This was, around 1,800, 1,900. All of a sudden we're seeing $400 or $500 jump just on monthly rentals, right? So if that same client here that's debating, should I get this 2 bedroom or I have enough savings, why don't I just see if I qualify with the FHA loan or not and just go with buying a property instead of paying $2,400 for 2 bedrooms in this area? Okay. Again, another property that's listed on the market. This is by Victor, one of the agents that we know from a different firm. Listed this property for 1.7, right? The prices are ridiculous. This is a new construction that's coming on the market, listing it for 1.7. Only time will tell which client will actually purchase this. This is a 40 by 100 lot size. Property like this, we see the price range should be around 1.3, 1.3 and a half. But let's see what type of work they finish up with and the specs and everything like that, and see what it actually sells for. Okay. So like I said, just by going to KV Core listings and just typing in any zip code that you wish and start doing your research. And this is not for your clients, this is for yourself. This way you get to know the market, see what's on the market right away. And you can filter out more things. Once you type in the zip code, you can click on filter on the left here and make any adjustments that you need, by bedrooms, by bathrooms, price ranges, anything that you like. Just know that this tool is there. It's pretty powerful. And even when you see a for sale by sign on the property and you see the address, just start typing in the address 8732 and just hit enter, and that property will come up. Okay, you don't have to type in the full address, just the house number and the street might just do it. Okay. All right, any questions on that, guys? All right. So we want to touch on calling, right? Some of you guys showed interest from our last meeting that you guys want to actually sign up. A few of you guys contacted me. Should I go with VEDX? Should I go with Mojo Dialer? I would recommend starting off with VEDX and because the software is really good, their pricing is very reasonable compared to others. So you probably want to either start off with just by for sale by owners. So these are it's about $40 per month. So they give you a list of the areas that you want to look at for sale by owners properties, and contact those sellers, right? And we have the scripts on our ljagent.com page. I just want to show you that here too, real quick. Once you're on there, you can click on this more on the top here, and then click on scripts. Okay, this PDF has all the scripts that you need uh, when you're talking to your owners, to expired listings, for expired listings, or for sale by owners. Okay, so I would definitely give it a try, especially when you want to be on the listing side. You want to do the call calling, and Vedex gets the job done. Try it, even if you try it for 30 days, 60 days, I think it will pay off. But Vedex is the one you want to start off with. Okay. Any questions on Vedex, guys? All right. Next, we want to talk about Property Shark. These are the new listings that's coming for foreclosures in our Nassau County here. So I will be doing this printout and saving as PDF and sharing it with you guys. The property that I really liked was this in Hempstead. Their lien amount was really low, $122,000. So just depending on the bidding war when the auction actually happens, and see how much it goes up for. But this is going to be a good buy for anybody that's out there, investor looking to invest in foreclosure. Okay, so I'll be sharing that with you guys after the meeting as a PDF. Okay. Some of you guys are not comfortable going to the auctions because you don't know the process and everything like that. But until you go there, right, there's two courts. One is in Nassau, one is in Queens. By going there, getting some experience, and just being there, you guys will start learning, seeing how the auctions actually work. If the lien is $230,000, they will start the bidding at 231, and depending on the investors out there, there's a bidding war, and the highest will take that property. So just like going there will make a big difference. You don't have to go every week, but once you go there a few times, you'll get the hang of it, and then you'll probably start taking your clients with you. Okay, and these are the investors that's looking for foreclosures. All right. Any other questions? Sure. Sure. One, well, for Queens is on Sutphen Boulevard by Hillside. I'll share the full exact addresses for both of them. So, like this one here, it will tell you for Nassau here, it's located 100 Supreme Court, right? For Queens is on Sutphen, but I'll share the exact addresses with you guys here. Okay. Brian asks, is there a script we can use for calling? Yes. We just mentioned that on ljagent.com, you can use that list script to call your FISBOs for sale and by expired. And that same, I just want to go over that real quick with you here, Brian, in the scripts here. So this PDF covers all of these things here. It covers your expired listings, to go to your open houses, how you consult with buyers, listing presentation, for sale by owner. Let's say you have a database, everybody that's in your KV core, and you haven't got in touch with them for like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, how you get in touch with them again, or how you do door knocking, even if you're doing Zillow leads that you're getting from OpCity or Zillow leads, how to talk to them, and just in general, your objection handlers, right? If somebody tells you, hey, I don't want to purchase now, how do I talk to them? The script, that job done. This is an 80-page PDF. I recommend everybody at least going through this and starting out with the ones that you show interest in. Let's say you start off with for sale by owner, read those scripts. And if you want to, practice it with me, I'm perfectly fine with that. But get the hang of it, of actually using these. Yeah. Anybody got a question? All right. So let's move on to our main topic for today, which is self-employed, right? So when you want to purchase a house, your lender doesn't, it could be any lender out there. They will look at either your income as self-employed, or it will look at, salary based as W-2s, right? If you're getting W-2s, we're going to go through a different seminar for that. So today we're only talking about self-employed, which is majority of our, realtors out there. If you're a realtor, you are self-employed. You're working only on commission. You're considered self-employed, right? So we're gonna say you might be a self-employed if, right? If you answer yes to any of this, you're a sole proprietor. That means you have a company and it's a one-man show. You're running the basic company, or you have your own business. Even if you have your own business and you're getting a W-2, right, it's still considered self-employed because that W-2 that you're getting is still coming out from your business, right? There's no another owner. If there was another owner, then it will consider W-2s. But if you own your business and you're paying yourself through W-2s, it's still considered self-employed. Okay. Or if you're a partner with at least 25% ownership in that business. Okay. Okay. Or if you receive more than 20% of your income in bonus or commission, right? You still consider self-employed. If you are a contractor, right? If you are a contract worker, even if it's for one company. So this is all our realtors out there. Every one of you guys, every end of the year, you guys get a 1099 from us. You're working as an independent contractor. You're working with one company, right? Consider self-employed. And simply you receive 1099 forms instead of W-2s end of the year. You also consider self-employed if bulk of your income comes from dividends and interests, right? Let's say you own a lot of stocks and everything like that, and every year that's where you're making your living, you'll be considered self-employed. And if you are a primary landlord, let's say you have many properties and all the income that you're getting from the rental income that you're getting, and you're paying off the mortgages, the net money that you're having, and you're living off of that, yes, you'll be considered self-employed. Or if you have a business like a franchise and you're getting royalties from that, they'll also be considered self-employed. So before we move on, does everyone understand what is considered as self-employed compared to a W-2? Okay. For self-employed, right, there's different business structures that a person can do. As we said, if you're just a one-man show, you can start off at sole proprietorship. One man owns and controls the business. It could be a partnership with two or more people. It could be a corporation. This is where the stockholders come and they're owning the business, and that's usually considered C corp. And then you have your S corp, right? This is where it's limited. Your shareholders are limited, and if you're the S corp corporation, you will be supplying 1120S tax return. Okay. And for self-employed, there are different schedules that you'll see. They'll go from Schedule C, Schedule D, Schedule E, or Schedule F. So Schedule C will be reported for income and loss from that sole proprietorship. So whatever business netted, let's say end of the year you made $40,000 on that business, it will be on your Schedule C. For Schedule D, that will be reports income coming from your capital gains or losses. Okay. And Schedule E is the income and losses from lease or rented. This is for people who are landlords and actually, getting the rental income. That's where your Schedule E will come in. Okay. We don't see this a lot in our areas because we are in the city, but Schedule F is for use for farming income. Okay. So far we know that there's different structures that self-employed can have, and they can have different schedules. So schedules are just a separate form that you have addition to your personal tax returns, which are 1040s. Okay, everybody has to file their personal tax returns 1040, but depending on what type of business they own or have, they'll be doing different schedules. So, what are required documentations for self-employed borrowers, right? So, first we said we need 2 years of tax returns, which are your 1040s. There are some, uh, you don't have to provide 2 years if you have been in the business for 5 years or more, right? So, if you are in the same line of field, let's say you're a realtor and you have been a realtor for 5 years, you just need to provide 1 year of tax return. But if you just got your real estate license and this is your first year and you made $80,000, the bank would want to see another year for that, same field. But if you're in the business for 5 years, you don't have to provide 2 years. You can just provide 1 year of your tax returns. Okay. Then proof of your income, your business tax forms that we just talked about. And if it's a S corporation, we're looking for K1s. Again, you don't have to know these in details, these different forms, but just know that these forms are there. If someone is giving you K1s or tax returns, and you're giving it to the loan officer, you should know what they are, right? And these are just showing that you have ownership in that property and you're making money end of the year, and it will be listed on K1s. Some lenders will also want to see profit and loss statements. So they want to see how is your business doing? Is it actually making money or not? Right? So you probably grossing 500,000. Let's say that's your sales, but after all the expenses, you have $450,000 expenses. You're only making $50,000 out of it. They could care less about what you're bringing in. What they care about is net, how much you're actually keeping after all the expenses. Okay. Some of them might ask for your current clients. Hey, what kind of clients that you have? And most of them will ask for a CPA letter showing that, hey, you have been, self-employed and running their business for X amount of years. Again, when it comes to they're looking for 1 year tax return, they definitely want to see a CPA letter stating that they have been self-employed for 5 years. Okay. Any questions so far, guys, on self-employed? Okay. So this is a big one again. Do mortgage lenders use gross or net income? Will they look at what you're making before the expenses, before the taxes, or are they looking for net after everything? When it comes to self-employed, they're looking for net. They want to know how much you're actually making. Because we said to save on taxes, a business owner, when it comes to tax time, always tells their CPAs that, hey, I want to pay the minimum amount of taxes, right? Hey, I have this expense, I have that expense, this expense, that expense, and the CPA says no problem. We can, as long as it's legal, we can make it happen. They will add those expenses, and you pay the least amount of tax. But when it comes to purchasing a property, you don't want to do that. You want to show how much you are actually making and how much you would be qualifying from that income. So if you're actually making around $80,000 after all the expenses, you're making only $20,000, the lender is going to look at that $20,000, not the 80. Okay. So just make sure that you're always looking for net. So how is self-employed income calculated, right? The lender will take the average income over the last 2 years, divide that by 12, and they will come up with average monthly income. Okay. So they're taking 2 years, dividing it by 12, and they will get that average monthly income. Because 1 year you could be making 100,000, another year you could be making 50,000. So they will average that out. Okay. There are different rules from different lenders. if the trend has to be going up. If you made 2 years ago you made $50,000, and now you're making $100,000, they're happy because you're making more money. But if it goes down, you made $100,000 and now you're making $50,000, they will question that. The why are you making less now compared to last year? Okay. So how do I report self-employed income, right? Oh, do I have to report self-employed income? Yes, you should. And that's on regular. You should. Every time like say you're purchasing a property, you're about to purchase a property, you want your files to look good, so you don't put in all the expenses that you want to put in, that you would normally put in, to show or pay less taxes, right? And this is another common question that we get. How about if you're, let's say, is a husband and a wife, and a husband is a realtor and making, $80,000 a year, and wife is on W-2s and she's making $60,000, right? You can combine both of them, right? So you can have one person as self-employed, and the other person can be W-2 on the application. Okay. And how about if you're switching, if you're going from W 2 to 1099? So let's say you had a normal job and you dropped that and you started your own business, right? You would need to at least wait 2 years for you to qualify for that 1099. But if you're going from an independent contractor, let's say you're a realtor and things were not working out, and then you found a full time job, you would need 1 year of tax return, and you need a letter explaining that you made that change and why did you make that change. Okay. So again, you can go from W 2 to 1099, but you need to wait 2 years. But if you go from 1099 to W 2, then you just need to wait 1 year, right? Question, concerns, guys? So all our realtors, right? If you're renting right now, you should have a goal that, I want to purchase a property, because you're advising others, hey, if you're renting, why not save enough money and actually purchase a property? So same goes for yourself. If you're making $40,000 in income from being a realtor, you want to increase that next year for 60,000, set a goal for 80,000, and you want to actually purchase that property. And if you're a realtor for 5 years now and you still renting, I think that's a problem. You're already advising everybody else to be a homeowner. Why not you doing it yourself? There's so many programs out there where you can put down 3%, 3.5%, and purchase the property. Why not do the same? And like I said, most people feel like, hey, they don't qualify. You would not know until you go speak with a lender of your choice and see how much you actually qualify for. And self-employed, like I said, as long as you're in the business for 5 years, you just need 1 year of tax return. If it's less than 5 years, you need 2 years of tax return, right? Question, concerns, guys? Any of you guys planning on purchasing or have any questions regarding qualification? Okay. Okay, she's W-2 or 1099? Okay. Oh well, she's retired. Well, yeah, so the lender will use whatever income that she's getting from the retirement, right, for that. How about for yourself too? If you want to be part of that, you want to start once you have enough closings and you want to qualify for that. As long as if you're yeah, if you're doing you are a realtor for less than 5 years, you would need 2 years of tax returns. So you want to set that as a goal. Like, let's see how much you guys qualify just with your mom right now. And if you want yourself to be added to that as a mortgage, probably want to wait. If you want to just see how much she qualifies just for herself, do that as well. But if you guys set a goal to own a property, that's a beautiful thing, and that's what we want to see from our realtors, right? Yep. Anybody else with any questions regarding self-employed? We should have these questions, so because your clients will be asking you these same things, right? And this is the most one too. Most people don't think that you cannot add, if this self-employed person, it has to be only that person. It's not the case, you know and on one application there can be up to four people, right? In most lenders applications, you can put up to four people. It could be two people self-employed and two people W2s, and they will count everybody's individually, their qualified income, and add that up, and qualify you on that bigger amount, right? Does everybody renting here, or is anybody homeowners and want to share their experience or planning to purchase anytime soon?